Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're looking at some new cards which were revealed for the lunalight archetype, and these will be coming from the duelist advanced set. This is a decent support cards, and I'm really happy about the archetype as the original cards aren't that bad to bring out, but if you add these to the mix, I believe this will actually make the lunalight archetype quite top tier. The first card we've got is the lunalight Gold Leo. It's a level 4 Dark Attribute Beast Warrior type effect monster. It possesses 600 attack and 1600 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one lunalight monster from your deck to your hand, except lunalight Gold Leo, then discard one card. And 2. If a lunalight monster is sent to your graveyard, while this monster is on the field, even during the damage step, you can target one of them and add it to your hand. This card doesn't have much in terms of its stat lineup. It's 600 attack, 1600, makes it extremely weak for a level 4 monster, but it's more so designed to help you search for the specific types of monsters that you need. As soon as it's normal or special summoned, you're able to add any lunalight monster from your deck to your hand, so that might be the Kaleido Chick to help you cheat out some of your fusion monsters, or it can be any of the others. I think the Crimson Fox helps you to negate cards, and then you discard one card. So that can be useful as there are a number of lunalight monsters that when they're discarded and happen to be sent to the graveyard, they can then trigger off their effects. I believe even the lunalight Perfume, which is the spell card, actually has an effect which activates in the graveyard. Second ability, if a lunalight monster happens to be sent to your graveyard whilst this monster is on the field, you can target one of them and that gets added back to your hand. So provided that you've used additional resources, this is a fantastic way of bringing those cards back without having to run out of archetype support. Lunalight Silverhound is a level 3 Dark Attribute Beast Warrior effect monster. It has 1400 attack and 400 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon one lunalight monster from your deck except lunalight Silverhound, and if you do, you cannot special summon from the extra deck while you control that face-up monster except lunalight monsters. And 2. When a spell, trap, or effect is activated on the field, as a quick effect, you can banish this card and one lunalight fusion monster from your graveyard to negate the activation. This is another quite middling in terms of its attack points, but it being a level 3 is quite justified with 1400 attack points. As soon as this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, even through the previous monster, as that has a discard ability, you're able to straight away special summon a lunalight monster from your deck. So this actually saves you from using your normal summon, and you can use your normal summon on something a bit more useful. And provided you do, you are unable to special summon from the extra deck while you control that face-up monster except lunalight monsters. So that's fine, that just kind of locks you into your lunalights. Bear in mind that the monster that happens to be summoned, it doesn't have to be there for that long. You can use it as part of something else, and once it kind of disappears from the field, you're then no longer locked into your lunalights. That's a decent kind of halfway house, as it prevents you from going all in, but it also helps you to not have to run just specifically that type of card. Second ability actually allows you to banish this card and a lunalight fusion monster to negate the effects and activation of a spell or trap card. This is a way of negating a different type of card. I think the Crimson Fox worked on your opponent's monsters, so you have both aspects of negating both monsters, spells, and trap cards. The only downside is that you also have to banish a lunalight fusion monster, but given how you're trying to get out your fusion monsters more easily, it's probably quite easy to get those into the graveyard and won't take you too long to get there. Lunalight Liger Dancer is a level 12 Dark Attribute Beast Warrior fusion effect monster. It has 3800 attack and 3500 defense. The materials are a lunalight Leo Dancer and 3 lunalight monsters, and it must be fusion summoned with the above material. First ability is it's unaffected by non-lunalight card effects. Second is it can make a second attack during each battle phase. And a third, once per turn, as a quick effect, you can send one lunalight monster from your extract to the graveyard to destroy all opponents' special summoned monsters. This is the brand new boss monster for the lunalight archetype. Traditionally, you had a couple of these lunalight monsters which were boss monsters, so you had one with 3,000 attack, you had one with 3,500 attack. The Leo Dancer has 3,500 attack, and it requires you to fusion summon it by having to use the lunalight Panther Dancer, and you also need another lunalight monster to bring it out. That is already quite an investment, so that's where the Kaleido Chick comes into play, as that often allows you just to cheat out one stage of the fusions. If you can actually bring that card out, then you still need 3 lunalight monsters, which I believe will then require you for quite a lot of investment, so I think somewhere down the line there is a way of cheating those cards out as well, somewhere further that we need to read. This has the most attack points, but it's only slightly bigger than the previous one that had 3,500 attack and 3,000 defense. This has an additional 300 attack and an additional 500 defense. Arguably, I wonder why this is only slightly more powerful. I would have wanted a little bit more to see from it, but I suppose the heavy investment is necessary. First ability is unaffected by non-lunalight card effects, which means that you can still target it with your own in-archetype cards, which is often the benefit of that. With cards which are unaffected by anything, yes, they're protected from everything, but the thing is, if you want to boost them in any way or do anything with them, that's often the downside. So this is often the issue I have. I'm a massive raidraptor fan, and as fantastic as their rank 10, the rank 12, and the rank 13 are, and they are, believe me, they are, with their later support, they ended up having to get a Last Trick style of a card, which happened to, when it's under them used as material, boost their attack points 200 times the, it's 100 times the rank of the monster. So with the Ultimate Falcon, that gained 1,000 attack points, it's a rank 10, so it's 4,500 attack. The rank 12 became a 5,000 attack monster, and the rank 13 became a 5,300 attack monster. But even then, there are ways your opponent could, say, for example, double their attack points and then just crash over your opponent's monster in that way. With no ability to boost themselves, that made those cards very vulnerable in longer states of plays, where your opponent could then go into various other cards which help to boost them. This does not have that downside, and it's actually good as well, as it supersedes the lunalight Leo Dancer, as that is unaffected by card effects or being targeted by card effects. So this upgrades itself from the previous version. Second ability, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. It doesn't have to be on monsters, it can be direct attacks as well, so potentially that's 7,600 attack points of damage, which is almost enough to close out the game. It's a fantastic board wipe to use against the opponent's monsters, as you can clear 2 monsters consistently in a row, and your opponent isn't going to be able to respond against these cards. My only kind of downside of that is that it can still be responded to in some ways. I'm sure there are ways of doing that. Third ability just allows you to send a lunalight monster from the extract to the graveyard. You've got so many variations of that, just running the deck pure, just to destroy all opponents' special summon monsters. This is also another upgrade to the lunalight Leo Dancer, as previously with that monster it has to successfully clear one of your opponent's monsters in battle to then destroy all of your opponent's special summon monsters. That's fine, but if your opponent can somehow prevent you from going into your battle phase, then actually that's a way of cutting down the abilities of your own monsters. It actually vastly prevents you from doing anything. This just allows you to get rid of an extra deck monster that's a lunalight, and you get to instantly wipe out all of your opponent's special summon monsters. This can be activated during yours or your opponent's turn, which actually makes it also better, so it can respond to whenever you need it. It mentions here, just as part of the summoning chant, this is just a bit of fun they had during the live stream. "O dancing king of 100 beasts that stands at the apex of moonlit beasts, O beasts that dance in the moonlight, change and be reborn, with a new power in the vortex caused by the power of the moon's gravity. Fusion summon, come forth, the king of kings that continues to dance in the moonlight night sky, lunalight, liger dancer." The idea of this is pretty much this was used through Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. They all had summoning chants for their various monsters. This was used heavily across Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. This was used against a lot of the raidraptor monsters. It was used by other kind of monsters throughout the series and by the main characters who emphasised on that. This card is Lunalight Perfume Dancer. It's a level 6 Dark Attribute Beast Warrior Fusion Effect monster. It has 2000 attack and 1500 defense, and materials are just 2 Lunalight monsters. You can only use the first, second and third effects of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is fusion summoned, you can add 1 Lunalight Perfume from your deck to your hand. 2. You can target 1 other Lunalight card you control, return it to the hand or the extra deck, then you can special summon 1 Lunalight monster from your hand. And 3. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, monsters your opponent controls will lose attack equal to their own original defense. This is a weaker fusion monster and is actually the weakest of the ones currently shown, even amongst its oldest support forms, even within the Cat Dancer. It just generically needs 2 Lunalight monsters, very simple to use. It doesn't require anything really more than that, and each of its effects can only be used once in a turn. As soon as this card is fusion summoned, you just get to search for a Lunalight Perfume from your deck to your hand, hence why it's called Lunalight Perfume Dancer. It just helps to synergize the deck. The effect of that card, if I just quickly look that up, the Lunalight Light that card has so this card is target 1 Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special summon it, so you can banish this card from your graveyard, then discard 1 card, add 1 Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand. That's fine, as it does have the monster recovery ability to it, but also you have the opportunity to banish a card by discarding this to then search for a Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand. That's fantastic as a way of protecting your own monsters, and that's quite decent. The second ability, just by targeting another Lunalight monster you control, it gets returned to either the hand or the extra deck, and then you get to replace it with another Lunalight monster from your hand. This is a good way of preventing you from using up your normal summon, which you might need for something else, and will allow you to potentially fusion summon more easily. And the third ability, just by banishing this card from the graveyard, your opponent's monsters lose attack equal to their own original defense. You are seeing a lot of monsters with similar kind of attack and defense stats. Sometimes their defense happens to be exceeding their own attacks, and so you could potentially get your opponent's monsters down to 0 attack points. The Lunalight monsters, the fusion monsters, like to attack multiple times in a turn, and can actually do, if they can get your opponent's attack points down quite near to 0 or 0 if possible, will be able to go over those monsters and do enough damage to actually win the game outright then and there. The next card we have is the Lunalight Masquerade. This is a continuous spell card. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can send 1 Lunalight monster from your deck to the graveyard. And 2. If you fusion summon a Lunalight monster, you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard or banishment to your hand. Then you can discard 1 card. And if you do, once this turn, if you fusion summon a Lunalight monster, you can also use monsters in your graveyard by banishing them. This is a continuous spell card. They've got a couple of support cards, but actually this is quite useful. First ability, during the main phase, as soon as this card's activated, you just get to send a lunalight monster from your deck to the graveyard. Some of them have utility in the graveyard, as I've mentioned before, and that means they're easily able to use their graveyard-based effects, or even if not, they are ready to be set up for different sorts of plays. Second ability, when you fusion summon a lunalight monster, you're able to add a polarization from your graveyard or banishment to your hand. Then you can discard one card, and then you can then fusion summon a lunalight monster using monsters in your graveyard as well. That helps to fuel your lunalight monsters without having to use any additional resources, because if you're trying to bring out the big ones, they require several monsters, and that's too heavy in your resource requirements. By using them also from the banish pile, well, by using them in the graveyard and then banishing them, it's a bit like using them as a miracle fusion, and then this really acts like a double fusion utility card. Overall, I think the archetype is actually quite useful. I do think the new fusions are going to help to cement the archetype as they stand, and I think they're definitely worthwhile getting. Whatever you think, I'd love for you to put those in the comment section down below. I personally love the new fusion monsters, both of them. I think they're both set up perfectly well, and each kind of help to step into the boss monster, which is the one we've got currently on screen. Any weaknesses, I still think some of them are quite reliant on search effects from the graveyard, and those can still be negated, and actually if certain things happen, those processes might still be enough to stop you from going into the specific monsters that you need. I'd love for you to watch another video in the end screen. It really helps to support the channel. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.